Well, welcome back to Mid-Norfolk, and we're going to update you on the progress we made with the barn conversion over the last couple of weeks. Big change, as you can see, is most of the windows have arrived. Not all of them yet, but the vast majority are now in, and that's really transformed the interior space and light. And we've also had some plastering done, but the majority of the work, as you can still see, is progressing underground. There has been a massive amount of digging for the new drainage systems to isolate the foul from the clear or surface water, which will now be fed directly down into the pond and split at the level where the Hitachi is at the moment, I think. But they've got more exploration to do, and we're actually going to cut this back. So although it's starting to look very, very nice, it's going to get a little bit destroyed before finishing off. Let's go inside and show you the interiors. Most impressive, well, second most impressive is this large gable end window, which forms in the opening of what was a barn door on the base and a hatch or opening door on a hayloft, which was in the upper half of this opening of the east end of the barn. We've retained the little cross feature, and there's a double glazed unit that's on site now that's going to pop into the top to seal that up. We've been plastered on the end wall, and that's now been painted. The paint colour we've decided on for the walls here is Farrow and Ball Dimity. The lime wash on the back wall eventually is starting to dry out. This has been one of the concerns we've had with the barn, how much of the original brick walls we can leave exposed and just limed. You can see all the repair in here. It's very rustic, I know, but as that lime dries out and we start getting some heat in here and the temperatures rise, we're hoping that the effect we're going to get on there is going to be a nice one. Above, on the more dry area of the wall, the lime's pretty nice and even. I still want to get 3 or 4 more coats onto that. In the old chicken house on the back of the barn, the bifold doors have gone in. Shame this morning we've got some condensation on them, because the views going out through into the vegetable garden and the cutting garden beyond are absolutely fantastic. Still don't have the one final French door that will open this aspect out onto the formal garden at the back, but they are progressing with the ensuite toilet and shower wet room through that aspect there, and the window former's gone in, although the window is still sitting here on the floor. So plastered and painted, ceilings painted, one remaining ceiling to be done in the old garden room here, which I think we've got a plasterer coming on site this week, so last bit of the plastering to do. We've got some decisions to make on these steel lintel covers. They've got the fire protective boarding over them as per building regs, but we are now having to make the decision whether we try and put mock beams over these to give us a effect of a wooden beam. The big one over the top here is the one I'm most concerned about. The wood that the builders have actually sourced for this is non-planed pine, and I don't like it, I must be honest. We're debating whether we stick with that, paint it up. I don't want to try staining new wood like that to try and make it look old. I know that is really difficult to do because of the difference in the character of the wood once you start putting stains on it. So I think we are going to opt for these to be plastered out, and this one I will probably paint in white so it merges into the ceiling and disappears. The ones over the wall I will probably paint in dimity, so we've got them running off the wall colour, which will be less of a contrast with the burnt umber lime wash that we've got on this wall. Scaffolding is going to be moved this weekend onto this wall so I can get another 4 or 5 coats of lime wash on it, because it's still looking a little uneven. The half of the log burner is going in this position over the next couple of days, we hope, because the log burner fitting is on the 27th of April, which isn't that far away now. Got about a week to get that all ready for the fitting team that will come. We're a little concerned about the knock through here into the chimney. Hope we've got some good coring cutting tools to not make too much of a mess of the lime on the brick finish there, because that's got so many coats on. If they do and I have to patch it, it's going to be a real challenge. But all in all, progressing very nicely. Just let me take you through into the scullery at the back here. Again, we've got the big barn door access here, which is lovely for letting a lot of light through. We are glad we put the Veluxes in the ceiling here, because in the morning this room gets a nice bit of light from the east, but in the evenings then you really do need the Velux windows to give you the light in here. Again, we're plastered out in here now, painted on the ceilings, the wall colours, we've got some test patches up, and this is going to go, I think, dimity again for some warmth. The lime in here, we're not happy with the parchment colour, we think it's too yellow, particularly that contrast. Do you see that on that end wall there where we've got the burnt umber coming round and the parchment? It's just the contrast between the pinky white brown and the yellow in the parchment we don't particularly like. So we've got some dimity lime wash from Farrow & Ball on order, which we're going to overcoat this with, and hopefully that will give us the depth of colour we want in here on the retained brick walls without that change, particularly around that gable end where the doors cut through. Still no flooring down in here, but we are hopeful that that is going to progress over the next couple of days. So windows in, some paint on the walls, floor yet to go down, second fit very much in the distant future when all the mucky jobs and plastering are completed. Bathroom to put a roof on and build basically with flooring and plumbing in there. But it's coming on. We're very pleased with progress. Just wish we could finish the drains and get that put to bed and then start tidying up around the outer side, because I have got a new garden to show you on a separate video, which we're going to do. The old swimming pool is now landscaped, so that is part of the new design, and the long aspect that we're going to get through that end window when it opens up is going to be fantastic.